Good morning and welcome to Ports and Palaces podcast. It is October 14th, and today we're going to be discussing our top 10 things to do at Animal Kingdom. Let's see if we overlap.
Good morning, everyone. Like Chad said, we are finishing up our little top 10 tips series with Animal Kingdom. Don't worry, I've gotten lots of questions about when we're going to do Disneyland. It's coming. Christmas and all the holiday activities are about to be ramping up on our podcast. So it may be after all of those. So it will be coming, I promise, but it might be coming a little bit later than you might be anticipating. But it is coming. We heard you. We will do a Disneyland one of these as well. But for today, we're going to be finishing up our series with Animal Kingdom. So if you are just catching on this first episode here, Chad and I each have our own top 10 list for Animal Kingdom. I always just do a couple extra just in case there's some overlap. But we're going to each share one of our tips on our list and then see how much overlap we have. And hopefully you end up with a good top 20 list, unless we have a ton of overlap and you might have a little less. Each episode we've done, though, we've had our list and then we would overlap and then add in another tip that we just thought of in the fly. So it's pretty much came out to 20 each episode. So I'm excited to see. We like to not look at our list until we actually record. So here we go.
Yeah, like to make it a surprise. Okay, first on my list, it's something that I love to rope drop when we go to Animal Kingdom. Flight of Passage. Now, arguably, this is the most fun and intense, well, I don't want to say most intense ride. That there's another ride that's pretty intense, but technical innovation wise, Flight of Passage is pretty amazing. It's very immersive experience. It is AR. If you don't know what AR is, it is augmented reality. You don't wear a headset, you just wear 3D glasses, and then you look at a fisheye screen in a stadium and you ride.
You're like synced into like a banshee is what they're trying to simulate.
Yeah, it's almost like a motorcycle. It's like if you're sitting in a motorcycle.
Yeah, like a physical, like what you're actually sitting on. Yeah, I would agree. It looks kind of like a motorcycle. Something to think about on this ride, if you're a little plus size and you have larger calves, just be careful on that. Like, because you kind of click in with your legs. So don't be afraid of someone, or be embarrassed, I guess I should say, if someone comes up and like pushes you in just a little bit. For the most part, anyone I've met, and I'm a little bit bigger too, but anyone I've met that's a little bit on the bigger side, like they've been able to ride, the cast member just kind of has to maneuver their legs a little bit to get them in. But it's a really cool ride.
Yeah, it doesn't take a lot. Yeah, there's really almost no restrictions for that ride. Just height requirement.
Yeah, our daughter's finally tall enough to ride it. So we almost planned a trip just specifically to go have her ride it, but we changed our mind.
On Flight of Passage, you fly through the skyscapes, the floating islands, the beachhead, everywhere, the jungle. It's a really cool experience. Like Kirsten said, you fly around on a banshee. It's amazing. If you get motion sick, just be prepared.
Yeah. It's not the worst because you're not physically moving. It would just be like almost like Star Tours.
You move a little bit, but it's haptic. The seat is haptic, where it will like slightly turn left or slightly point down or slightly point right to kind of give you the feeling of flying to the right, flying to the left, flying super fast down a ravine or something like that. So,
and then during the ride, just kind of look to your left and your right. It's actually a big theater, and there's a bunch of other people that are seeing the same screens as you, which is kind of cool. And I don't think, as many times as I've been on there, I don't think I ever realized that. Everyone I brought it up to after the fact, when I was like, did you know we're all in like a big theater together, kind of like Soarin'? Everyone just looked at me crazy. They were like, yeah. And so I didn't know that. So in case there's someone out there that doesn't know that, it's very cool. And and I had no idea. So my first tip is similar to Flight of Passage in that it's also Pandora related, but it's not Flight of Passage. It is to, if you can, try to go see that land at night. I know that's harder to do.
Pretty.
Yeah. It's harder to do because Animal Kingdom always closes early, but especially around like the winter season, it sometimes stays open just a little bit late for like extended evening hours, or if you can catch an after hours event at Animal Kingdom, the whole place is bioluminescent. So it's all lit up beautifully and you never really get to experience that during the day. So if you have an opportunity to go see it at night, it's just a completely different experience. It's really cool. So that was my first tip.
My second tip is right by Flight of Passage. It is Navi River Journey. This is a really cool little boat ride experience. Very calm, very relaxing. It's definitely a sightseeing ride. Lots of cool animals walking around up and above you and around you and stuff like that. The animatronic is really good. That has Navi doing a spell or like incantation or something. Yeah. It's just very relaxing. A lot about sightseeing inside of a cave with all kinds of cool plants and animals, stuff like that. So
it's nice and relaxing. It's very short. I don't know if it's worth a long wait. But it's a nice little break. We like to rope drop Flight of Passage and then turn around and do Navi River with a pretty short line. So that's usually what we do. My next tip is still in Pandora. It is about food though. So make sure when you are in Pandora, in my opinion, best food in Animal Kingdom is there. At Satuli Canteen, they have these cheeseburger pods with the kettle chips. Those are delicious. I will purposely make sure we can be there around lunch or dinner because they're so good. And then in Pandora, but not at Satuli Canteen, there's like a drink stand called Pongu Pongu, and they have the rum blossom, which is delicious. It's one of my favorite. It does have like boba, so if you're not a big fan of boba, just know it does come with that. I've never asked if they could take it off just because I like the boba, but I don't see why they couldn't take it off. It's just kind of sat on top, but that would be my tip for Pandora of where to eat because it is delicious. And if you're on the dining plan, it counts as a quick service credit for the cheeseburger pods, which is really good.
So you just shortened my list because Sutuli's Canteen was number 7 on my list.
Sorry about that.
Specifically the lunch I really enjoyed. But yeah, the same items that Kirsten mentioned are really good too.
They do have some more like adult friendly food, like instead of cheeseburger pods, if you want to be adventurous, they have like these bowls that are really good as well.
Next up on my list is Expedition Everest. So from an experience that we had where we got stuck at the very tip top of the mountain, I know Kirsten would no longer agree.
I will never go on that ride again, which is so sad because I love it.
I love Expedition Everest. It's so fun. I like seeing the shadow of the Yeti go across the cave wall and being chased by the Yeti and stuff like that.
I feel like I can't say like I'm never going to go and then not explain why, because it is or was, I guess, my favorite ride. But we lucked out one time and we're first row or front row.
Yep.
Which was awesome. We were so excited. We were like, oh my gosh, I don't think we've ever gotten front row. Because we're just not one to ask. Like, we have other things to do. We get to go quite a bit to do these parks. And so we just don't feel the need to ask for certain rows or certain whatever. Like, it's all going to be a great time. And anyway, out of the weeds. But we got front row and we should have known that there was going to be some issues because before we could even like get into the mountain of the ride, like the big part of the ride, we got stuck, which we just thought maybe, it was
in the cave. Like, it was dark.
No, this was actually before we even went into the ride. Like, we were just pulling out of the little station.
Gotcha.
And it was only like 2 seconds, maybe. Like, it wasn't long. Well, then we get all the way up. We're going, and we're at the very top of the mountain where it's got the like fake broken
rail.
Yeah. Well, the fake broken rail was not there. It was like I don't know, in maintenance. I don't know. But so it literally the actual track was broken without the
facade.
Thank you. So you truly felt like you were about to fall off of the ride. And we were stuck there for...
You could see over the edge, yep.
Yeah, you could see all the way over to, what was it? Like Hollywood Studios. We could see, Chad was trying to distract me. He was like, look, you can see this. You can see this. We were there for...
At least 10 minutes. More than that. Maybe.
It was a while. I'm going to say 5 minutes. It felt like an eternity because I'm afraid... People will say I'm afraid of heights, but I'm afraid of falling. And so I was just terrified, having a panic attack up at the top of this ride. So it felt like we were there for years, but it was probably more like 3 to 4, maybe 5 minutes. Well, then we finally go. And then we got stuck again in the cave. Of course, you know, you've got all those sounds going and you can hear the other like trains moving. So like it's all shaking.
Yeah, that part was terrifying because we could hear the other train coming. We didn't know if that was traveling up to where we had been or if...
So you could feel it. It was shaking. And then, of course, you've got like the sounds of the Yeti coming at you. And so, you know, I'm trying to come down from the panic attack from the top of the mountain, then went into the mountain and was stuck there for... That one wasn't as bad, maybe a minute, but could not seem to get my heart rate to go down. And so we got off the ride and everyone was like, we should go ride Dinosaur next. And I was like, I'm done. Like I'm just gonna sit here. So all that to say, love the ride. Please make sure to ride it, but I will never probably ever ride it again. Sorry. I felt like that story was needed with me saying I'm never going to ride it again because it is a really good ride.
It's fun around every corner and every peak.
All right, my next tip is my last tip for Pandora, and it's not really Pandora related, but there is like a little secret sidewalk area that connects Pandora to Africa, and it's clearly on the app on the map, but for some reason people that I talk to, they're like, oh, I didn't even realize that was there. We always go back to the main hub and then walk to Africa. And it's very
a really weird trail. It's like very zigzaggy and curved and back and forth. Yeah. Yeah,
but it's definitely shorter than going back to the main hub where the Tree of Life is. Kind of spits you out right at the theater where the Lion King is. So that would be my tip. Just make sure to check the app and know where you're going because that could save you a lot of steps in a trip where you are walking a lot.
My next tip is Kilimanjaro Safari. I always love going on the safari ride. You get to see rhinos, you get to see giraffes, you get to see African painted dogs. If you don't know what that is, look it up. It's pretty cool. They almost kind of look like a cross between coyotes and hyenas.
I could see that, yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, they're really cool. You get to see wildebeests. Those are cool. But we've seen different birds and stuff like that from
crocodiles.
Crocodiles, yep,
lions.
That's right. Lions.
Last time we went on it, we got chased by rhinos. We didn't really get chased by rhinos. But
They didn't chase us, but they were charging next to us.
Yeah, they were playing. Cool. It kind of felt like, it was really fun. I've never seen that before. My next tip is to don't miss the train that takes you to Rafiki's Planet Watch. That whole station out there is really cool. It's got a petting zoo. They've got like an animation experience where you can draw characters, like someone walks you through it. And it's just a nice way to kind of get out of the park, take a little train ride, do something different. And I don't think people really realize that's there. I know on one of our trips, Chad was even like, what is that? And I was like, oh yeah, that's the train. So, I mean, even for us, we don't do it all the time, but it is a nice little break, especially if you're spending all day there. At Animal Kingdom, it's a nice little thing to do. I would recommend making sure that if you're going to go, either have a conversation with your kids before, like if they can't hold a pencil or do the animation, like just be like, hey, you're going to do it with me, because I know our daughter is not quite to the age where she can do that herself, and she would get really frustrated if hers didn't look like what it was supposed to. And so we just have a conversation of like, oh, it's okay, we're going to do it together until you can learn how to really hold a pencil and draw appropriately. So in case your child is also like that, you might just want to have a quick conversation, like, It doesn't have to be perfect. Everyone does their own things, but just something to think about. The petting zoo is really cool too.
It is, yeah. It's really cool. Next on my list is food related. If you're a first timer and you're really not sure where you want to go eat first, I recommend kind of towards the left middle of the park, Tusker House. They have a great buffet style setup there. They have plenty of options, both for the picky eaters, for kids, for adults that want to have a little bit more, or for adults that have a little bit more exotic of taste buds. They have a lot of cool stuff there.
Yeah.
Africa and Morocco inspired food, which is pretty cool. So,
yeah.
And you get to meet, typically Mickey and Donald will come through in their adventure gear.
Yeah. Mickey, Donald, Daisy, and Goofy are typically there. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's really cool to see them too. You don't get that at every single restaurant, so it's cool to see the characters come through there.
Yeah. My next one is to not miss the animal trek. So I think a lot of people are like, oh, well, Animal Kingdom is a zoo, which there are animals there, and that makes it similar to a zoo, but it's much more than that. But then you have the people that say, well, I have a zoo at home, so why would I spend time going on these little like treks around and seeing the animals? We have some really great zoos around by us, and I still am amazed at the way that they have the like enclosures for the animals set up. You really feel much closer to them. I don't know if they do something different in how they set it up, but like I say that to say we have amazing zoos, and I still make it a point to go do those walks because I think they're very set up well, and the animals are fun to look at. And so don't miss that. Don't think, oh, I can do that at home. That is a very cool part of Animal Kingdom. So don't miss that.
Yeah, don't miss the gorillas on the right side of the park.
Mm-hmm. And the monkeys. I feel like my dad would be so upset if he listened to this and I didn't mention the little like orangutan monkeys that are like swinging around. Mm-hmm. Don't miss that. That's his favorite part.
Next on my list, I'm sad to say, is going away soon, is Dinosaur, the ride. I don't know if that's the official name, but the dinosaur ride.
Dinosaur, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. It's a really fun, immersive experience. You get huge animatronic dinosaurs popping their heads out and roaring, and really, really good sound engineering for a ride like that. It's, if you've ever been on the Indiana Jones ride, it doesn't really whip you around, but it is a rough ride. But
he means the Indiana Jones ride at Disneyland.
Correct. Yeah.
They have a similar ride track. Just making sure everyone was with us. But Dinosaur is so much jerkier than Indiana Jones.
It is.
Yeah. Dinosaur is not on my list. I'm not super sad to see it go. I'm excited for the revitalization of that section of the park. And kind of see what's coming. We're excited to check it out. We're already planning out our 2027 to make sure that we're there to see it all and experience it. So, but it is sad for a lot of people that it's going. So, my next tip is food related, and it is the Nomad Lounge. So the Nomad Lounge is a really nice place to go get some drinks, go get some food. They have these churro bites that are delicious. Make sure to do that. It is not something that you can pre-reserve, but you do join a walk-up list. I recommend getting the walk-up list pretty early in the morning, because then you can go later in the day, because it will sell out very quickly. I remember the first time we wanted to go to Nomad Lounge, I was like, well, we want to go in like late afternoon, so let's wait and not join the walk-up list until 11. And I thought that was going to be like plenty of time, and they had already sold out for the day. So make sure to do that early. Sometimes you can do it on the app. Like if you pull up the app and pull up Nomad Lounge, you can click walk up list, but we have better luck just going to the restaurant. It's kind of right outside of Pandora before you go back to the Tree of Life area. So we have better luck just stopping by and saying, hey, we'd like a table around this time, and they can usually work us in. So that's just a nice place to go, get some quiet. Again, especially if you're spending all day at Animal Kingdom, there's enough to fill your day, but to not fill the whole day. And so this is is a nice place to go and just have some rest. When our daughter was little, we would kind of conveniently go there around nap time, and she would just nap, and we would have a little snack and a drink and just, cool down. Animal Kingdom is notoriously the hottest park. Like every time, even if we go in December, we are sweating bullets at Animal Kingdom. So it's nice to just get out of the heat a little bit. And we like to do that at Nomad Lounge.
Yeah. So heading on back to the Pandora area, that's the Avatar area, if you don't know. This has to do more with the shopping options. Wind Traders. It has a really cool assortment of items. Several of the items you can only get at that store, such as the baby little avatars, little Na'vi people.
Our daughter wanted that toy the first time we took her, and we were shocked. We were like, you want, out of every toy, we try to limit like either like one souvenir a day if it's small, or like one or two the whole trip. And so we do this little tip. This isn't really Animal Kingdom specific, but for parents, we will have our daughter take pictures with certain things. And then if she never talks about it again, like we know it really wasn't important to her. But for some reason, that baby avatar was like,
she kept going back to it.
She wanted that so bad. I was like, you've never even seen this movie. Like, what are you talking about? You didn't get to ride Flight of Passage. Like, but she was just adamant. And that was several years ago. And she still plays with that little baby avatar.
But they have all kinds of cool stuff. They have little Banshee drones, like little RC Banshee drones, which are really cool. They have, you can get your own Pandora dog tags punched in with like a impact printer with your last name and your department designation and stuff like that, which is kind of cool. There's just a lot of items in there that you can't find anywhere else that are Avatar, Pandora related.
Yeah, I agree. My next tip is Wilderness Explorer. So if you've seen Up, Russell is his name. And Russell is a wilderness explorer, and he's collecting a badge, and that's kind of what starts this whole story. And you can actually go around Animal Kingdom and collect your own badges and become a wilderness explorer. This is such a fun activity. Again, this is those things where when you're going to a park just to ride a ride or eat some food, you're going to miss these things. Such a fun experience. It takes you a good amount of the day, so get set up, started kind of early in the day, because as you're going to different parts of the park, that's where you do like the wilderness activity. So you don't want to like start later in the day and then you're crisscrossing the park trying to get it done. Like get it started in the morning, and then as you're doing your rides, or this is really helpful. Even though Animal Kingdom doesn't have as many rides as other parks, it has the most height restrictive rides. So it's kind of nice to set this up and do this. If you have kids that are smaller, you can have them go do that with one other adult, and then the other adults can ride, things like that. So this is a very fun experience. Don't miss that. It's really fun.
Second to the last on my list is, to me, definitely more for the kids. It's Finding Nemo, The Big Blue and Beyond. For the kids, I'll say. It's the show Finding Nemo, The Big Blue and Beyond. It's still a very fun and a hilarious show. It really is. It's a condensed and shortened down version of the original movie.
Yeah.
And so there's a few characters that are cut out of it. I couldn't tell you who. No, it's still fun for the kids. It's still a good time to sit and relax and just sit in air conditioning after being out in the hot sun for hours and hours.
Yeah, it's a good place. Just know some of the seats don't have backs, and some of them only have like little half backs. So just know that it's not the most comfortable seating, but the show itself is really cool. They have some really awesome puppetry that they use in that show that is definitely nice. And it's a nice way to get out of the heat again. I say that a lot, but just a nice way to get out of the heat.
Most of the voice actors, the voices of the puppeteers, are actually pretty good. They don't sound exactly like Ellen DeGeneres or the guy who played Monk or anybody like Marlon. Mm-hmm. But they sound similar, and they sound spot on enough that you don't think twice.
Yeah, it's a good show. Mine next tip, I'm going to go ahead and go with it. It's kind of similar, but I grouped all of the shows together. So I just said my tip was don't miss the shows. So like the Finding Nemo show, the Lion King show is really, really good. And then here in just about a few weeks now, they're going to have a new Zootopia show. So don't miss those. Those are nice. I don't want to say fillers because they're not just fillers, but they're nice shows to go do kind of in the heat of the day. Get out of the sunlight for a little bit and go watch those shows. And they're I shouldn't say that. In my opinion, they're fairly close together. You've got one in Africa, one in the main hub on the Tree of Life, and then one kind of over by Expedition Everest. But if you're walking fast, you could get to them within a good 15-minute time span between each one. So it's a nice way to kind of get out of the heat for a little bit and sit down.
My final tip goes along with that. Please, even if you don't like it after the first time, please go see Festival of the Lion King. It's a really cool experience. I really like all the costumes. I like all the singing and the music. I like the interactivity between the cast members and the audience. Don't they choose some kids from the audience to come do stuff?
Oh, and Finding Nemo? Not Finding Nemo. In Lion King.
Yeah.
Yes, I believe so. It's been a while since we've seen that show, but I believe they do to like be like part of the noise, like the elephant, whenever like they're like the mascot of the section. Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, section by section, they have, I forget what the sections are named as, but they have like an elephant section,
a lion, a giraffe,
section,
and I can't remember the last one.
Was it a hog section?
Maybe the warthog.
Warthog, that's right.
That might be right.
And then the meerkat section.
Maybe. It's been a while since I've seen that show.
But anyways,
there's 4 sections.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a delightful show. I liked it a lot. Kind of like with what Kirsten mentioned about the Finding Nemo show, though. Keep in mind, the seats do not have backings.
Yeah.
So my back was killing me by the end of the show.
The last time we went, this is how long it's been. So sorry if you're listening. You're like, oh my gosh, they're talking about something that they haven't been to in a while, but it hasn't changed in a while. But our daughter was still taking naps at that time, and she fell asleep on me. And by the end of it, I like wanted a wheelchair because she fell asleep. I had to carry her out, but my back was already hunched over. It was fun, but I was happy to see the stroller once we got back outside. But somehow I still have 2 tips left. So either I got skipped or something happened. But
I had to cut my list down.
Oh, because of overlap.
Satuli.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and do my last 2 tips, and then I'll just leave the bonus tips as a surprise for maybe another episode. So one of them is the Tree of Life trails. So on the Tree of Life, they've actually have carved in animals, and it's really fun to see those. So spend some time going and looking at all those carved in animals on the tree by walking around the Tree of Life trails. That's really a cool experience. And then my other one is kind of park adjacent. So right outside of the park is Rainforest Cafe. It does have its own entrance into the park. So if you're going before the park opens, or you can even like go to the park for a rope drop and then come out to go to Rainforest and then go back in. But that Rainforest particularly has an amazing brunch. So we're not the biggest fans of Rainforest just in general, but the brunch is actually really good. Mm-hmm. So that's a nice thing. Sometimes we'll rope drop Pandora and then walk out, go to Rainforest for breakfast, and then come back and do the rest of the park. So don't miss that. It's a pretty good brunch.
Is that going to wrap it up for today?
That's it. That's my final 10.
All right. Well, if you've enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. Please follow us. We are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, all 3 of those places. Be sure to share our episodes with people who might need them, or just in general. That would be awesome. We'd get to reach a much bigger audience at that point. So yeah.
Yeah, we were actually doing kind of like a mid-month audit of the podcast channel, and we noticed that most of our listeners are not following us. So we are going to give you a challenge this week that if you have listened to 2 podcasts and enjoyed at least those 2 podcasts, please give us a follow. As we are getting more followers, it's always nice to kind of get to know everyone. And so it's helpful when we see following counts. We know we're doing something right and we're connecting with y'all. So that's our challenge for this week, that if you have listened to at least 2 of our episodes that you've enjoyed, please just give us a follow. It takes 4 seconds, and a little rating takes about 4 seconds as well. So we would love that.
And we're always open to new ideas. If there's any topics that you really want us to cover, please comment on either YouTube or send us a message on TikTok or something or other, and let us know.
Yep. And our emails are also in the show notes. We're happy to chat with you. So if there is nothing else, I'm Kirsten.
And I'm Chad.
Happy travels from all your ports to palaces.
This podcast is sponsored by Ports and Palaces Vacations. Whether you are wanting to check out a new port along a cruise line or see the palaces of Disney and Universal, our travel advisors make your dream trip a reality. Your next trip is just a click away.